So if you enjoyed our first 2 adventures, here's adventure number 3. Off we go on the Selby Canal.
My name's Andrew. This is Brian.
And I'm Kath.
Welcome to ABC Paddlers.
For this trip we're starting off at West Haddlesea, just to the west of Chapel Haddlesea. We're using the Nicholson Guide book number 6 for this trip, and we're following the Selby Canal right up into Selby. We push off from Tankard's Bridge, which is just at West Haddlesea, as you can see there. Using what 3 words as we've done before, that'll give you the exact location of where we are.
Okay, so there's just enough parking for about 2 cars over the bridge at West Haddlesea. This is where we unpacked Brian and inflated him, and then we just carry him across the road to where we launch him. Not the most elegant of launches we've ever done, but hey, you win some, you lose some.
Well, we're back again for episode 3. This time we're on the Selby Canal, a stretch between West Haddlesea and Selby itself. We've started off at Tankard's Bridge and we're now travelling up. It's not such a great day today, there's a little bit of drizzle about, but hopefully it'll still be a very peaceful, quiet paddle. Along this stretch, when we last did this a couple of months ago, we found that there was a resident kingfisher that kept flying about 100 yards ahead of us, stopping, waiting for us to catch up, and then flying on again another 100 yards, just out of range of a camera or a video, but clearly a stretch that this particular kingfisher calls home. There's some gorgeous weeping willows on this stretch of the canal, and we're now approaching Paper House Bridge, which is clearly quite an old bridge and just gorgeous on an August Monday morning. At the moment it is just so peaceful and quiet. We've got a little flurry of ducks ahead of us that probably will fly off. There we go, as we approach. So we're now approaching Burn Bridge, and as you can see along here there are points where you could exit the water. The bank's fairly high, but there are holding posts and mooring posts there, so that's a possibility. The other possibility, of course, is the railings under the bridge, but again the bank is reasonably high off the water, but not impossible. There's a small car park just beyond the reeds there, and you could, if you wanted to do a shorter trip, you could park your car there and access the water, probably not from that bank, probably from the other bank, taking your kayak or canoe across the bridge and accessing the water from that side to avoid the railings. That would give you a shorter paddle from here up to Selby in this direction where we're going now, or alternatively you could take it back down to West Haddlesea where we started from. Oh, Ahead of us we've got some moving traffic on the canal, so as is the practice, we'll stay to the starboard side. The rule of thumb when you're boating is you pass port to port, so it means we stay to the right, they stay to the right, and there should be plenty of clearance for us both. But we'll stop paddling just to let him go past, because end of the day he's bigger than we are. So as you can see up here, the duckweed is very prolific. It's clogging the whole width of the canal from one side right across to the other, which is making this paddle rather different, interesting, no less beautiful, but a little harder going. But we'll get there. So we've just pulled up here just outside the Three Lakes Retail Park, which is just up through there. I'll show you in a minute. We're going to go up and have coffee and a packet of chips at the McDonald's there. We've chained Brian up, wrapped around a tree there, through there, so that he doesn't float away or at worst get stolen. And then we would walk up here, just up through these trees, and into Three Lakes Retail Park. The McDonald's is just up through there. There's no other places for eats or drinks around here. There's no pubs that we could see that was in a fairly close proximity. But the McDonald's is suitable for a coffee and a toilet break and anything to eat if you partake of McDonald's. What we're now going to do is paddle the remaining 10 minutes up to the Selby Lock, which then means that we will have completed the stretch of the whole of Selby Canal. Now, this section of the canal is close to Selby, so our litter picker is coming into its own. Let's see if we can get hold of that. I suspect on this trip we might end up with quite a full bag, but there we are. You can see we've got more boats moored up here as we get closer to Selby Centre. So this is Selby Basin, and you can see the lock there. That's the end of the Selby Canal. We did manage to get under the swing bridge, but we did have to lower the seats so that we were flat to go underneath. There's plenty of room here, and the banks aren't too high. There's even a small ladder just over there by the swing bridge that you could exit the kayak or the canoe with. You can tie it up along one of the chains along here and pop yourself into Selby.
So we're about to get to the swing bridge, and we can get under it as long as we lie flat, which means unhooking our seats. You're right.
It's okay, don't back any further though.
Don't what? Oh, sorry. Sorry. And we're back.
So we're heading back now to West Haddlesea Bridge, where we first started out from. This was the section that was clogged full of blanket weed, but fortunately, as you can see ahead of us, we've got a narrow boat that's cutting a path for us. So I'm cracking the whip, and Kath is doing her very best to keep up with it. So I suppose I'd better stop filming now so I can give her a hand.
Look out for the map of the Selby Canal on the towpath just as you get to West Hathersley Bridge. So that's the end of our little trip up the Selby Canal from West Hathersley Bridge. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a beautiful little paddle, bit tricky in places with the blanket weed, but really enjoyable paddle. So that's all for now. We'll catch you next time, and remember, keep paddling. We're going to call it a day now because Brian's feeling a bit deflated.